The clock on Daniel's wrist blinked 2:47 a.m. when he froze mid-step. A sound, slow, deliberate, echoed down the empty corridor. Thump, thump, thump. He turned his flashlight toward the noise, the beam slicing through the dust like a blade. The hallway of Block 12 stretched ahead, long abandoned, its windows boarded up and walls stained with oil. No one was supposed to be there. The door at the end was sealed 20 years ago, after the accident. Daniel swallowed hard. "Sam," he whispered into his walkie. "You hear in this?" Only static replied. Then, faintly, Sam's voice crackled through, amused. "Maybe it's the ghost of that guy who fell in the turbine." Daniel forced a short laugh, but his voice shook. "Yeah, funny." He approached the steel door of Block 12, shining his light across the rusted padlock. The air was colder here, still heavy, as if the hallway itself was holding its breath. The footsteps stopped the second his fingers touched the lock. Silence pressed in. Daniel waited, every muscle tense. Nothing. Only the hum of distant fluorescent lights. He stepped back, exhaled shakily and muttered, "Old building noises, just the pipes." But even as he said it, he didn't believe it. In the control room, he poured himself coffee with trembling hands. The factory was dead quiet now, except for the faint buzz of old monitors and the ticking clock. Then, clang. The sound came from above, the vent, metallic, sharp, like something crawling inside. Daniel's mug slipped from his grip, shattering. Coffee spread across the floor like dark blood. He tilted his head, listening. The vent rattled once, then went still. Slowly, he turned to the security monitors. One of the motion sensors blinked red. Block 12. Movement detected. His pulse spiked. He rewound the feed, breath shallow. The timestamp read 2:47 a.m. again, the exact moment he'd heard the footsteps. But what made his blood run cold wasn't the time. It was the faint outline on the screen, a human shadow, standing just behind the locked door. Daniel replayed the footage again and again, the grainy image flickering on the old monitor. A shape moved in the shadows of Block 12, unmistakably human. The figure drifted between the rusted machines, head slightly tilted, as if listening for something. The problem was, the power in that section had been disconnected for years. There shouldn't have been any movement, or light, or sound. He leaned closer, pressing his forehead against the cold glass of the screen. The uniform the figure wore was unmistakable, dark blue, with a white name patch on the chest, the exact same kind Daniel was wearing right now. "Sam," he whispered into the radio, voice trembling, "check the hallway cams near Block 12. I'm seeing movement." Static answered. Then through the hiss came slow breathing. Not Sam's voice, not human static, but something in between. He yanked the radio away, heart pounding. When he looked back at the monitor, the footage was skipping, flickering between 2025 and 2005 on the timestamp. For a moment he saw something different. Workers in helmets walking through the same corridor, laughing, alive, and then suddenly replaced by the same dark figure standing alone. Daniel's stomach turned. He printed the still image and stared at it under the harsh fluorescent light. The man in the picture wasn't clear, just an outline. But the patch on the chest looked eerily familiar. The letters blurred in the poor print quality, yet somehow he could swear it spelled Daniel. The phone rang sharply, breaking the silence. His supervisor's voice came through, irritated and half asleep. "It's a glitch, Daniel. You're seeing patterns. Just stay out of Block 12, you hear me?" Daniel nodded mechanically. "Yeah, sure." But he didn't hang up right away. His eyes stayed locked on the monitor. The video had paused. He hadn't touched anything, yet as he stared, the silhouette in the frame moved. Just a shift of the head at first, then a slow turn until it faced the camera directly. Daniel's breath caught, because now, on the screen, The shadow was looking straight at him. The next night, Daniel couldn't take it anymore. He told himself he'd just check Block 12 once, prove it was empty, and end this nightmare. The factory was silent except for the wind whispering through the broken windows. His flashlight beam trembled across the corridor as he stopped in front of the sealed door. The old padlock was still there, cold, corroded, but fragile with time. He hesitated, then snapped it open. The metallic crack echoed like a scream through the empty halls. A stale gust of air brushed his face, thick with the scent of rust and something faintly burnt. Daniel stepped inside. Dust swirled around his boots. The light from his torch fell on faded safety posters and half-broken machines wrapped in cobwebs. Everything was frozen in time, untouched since the accident. His footsteps echoed, uneven and hollow. Then he saw it, a chair in the center of the room facing the dark corner. On it hung a security uniform neatly pressed, the badge glinting under the light. His breath hitched. The tag read D. Miller, the name of the guard who had died here 20 years ago. "Hello," he whispered. The word barely left his throat. The walkie-talkie on his shoulder crackled to life. Static hissed, then a whisper bled through. Soft, intimate, familiar. "Daniel." He froze. The voice was his own. He stumbled backward, eyes darting to the office window on the other side of the room. The monitor inside flickered on by itself, showing the live CCTV feed, him standing by the chair. But in the feed, someone else stood behind him. A second figure, same uniform, same stance, like a reflection that had stepped out of the glass. Daniel spun around and nothing there, just the hanging uniform swaying gently, though no air moved. His flashlight flickered once, twice, then went dark. In the faint glow from the monitor, two shadows merged into one. The next morning, the factory's logbook was updated automatically. Shift record. Security Officer Daniel transferred to Block 12. Permanent night duty.